Now, if you have a boss who's maybe not supportive, but maybe not super helpful, maybe they're neutral, maybe they are not helpful. I mean, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with someone who's not super supportive or receptive and you're trying to make a case for yourself?
Yeah, so if you have a boss who kind of like won't help you, the whole thing is that you might not even know you have a boss who won't
Hmm.
like advocate for you, because most of that advocacy and conversations happen behind the scenes, and you might not be privy to that, right? So if you have a boss who won't help you, they might just refuse to bring up your name in the promotion conversation. Maybe they will
Hmm.
withhold feedback that can prevent your growth, and sometimes they can even like overtly undermine you and attempt to sabotage your long-term career prospects. It hasn't happened to me, thankfully,
Hmm.
but I've heard of situations like that. So when you discover you have a boss who's not advocating for you, the knee-jerk reaction is often to advocate for yourself and become like your own PR machine. But that's actually often a mistake, because too much blatant self-promotion in the workplace can actually backfire and signal that you are just kind of narcissistic and unconcerned about the greater good. So ideally you want
Hmm.
others like tooting the horn for you. And when I was talking about getting other people to promote you, so, I mean, firstly, you would want to understand why your boss isn't advocating for you. So, firstly, and I know it's a hard one to do. Like, consider the possibility, and it might not be the case for you, but consider the possibility that maybe you're actually the problem. Like, you
Ouch.
may not have a bad boss. Maybe you just haven't developed enough or demonstrated the skill necessary for your boss to advocate for your advancement yet. So observe the characteristics and accomplishments of the rising stars around you to see what you might improve, and proactively ask for your boss's feedback. Ask what it would
Hmm.
yeah, just ask for feedback, and maybe even consider getting a coach to help you make the improvements necessary. However, assuming that your performance is strong and ideally exceeds expectations, if your boss isn't helping you, then I would say the issue
Hmm.
likely lies with your boss, and it might not necessarily be your fault. It actually probably isn't your fault,
Yeah.
but it's your problem, right? So you owe it to yourself to find a workable strategy to advance your career. So, firstly, I think there might be different reasons why your boss isn't advocating for you. Your boss might be insecure. They might see you as a competition. Maybe they suffer from some deep unconscious biases, that lead to unfair evaluations of your performance and suitability for bigger roles. Maybe your boss actually wants to help you, but they just don't know how. Maybe they just lack that social capital and credibility to successfully advocate for anyone, or maybe they just don't want to be your champion. So, like, yeah, so whatever, if you just feel angry about it or hurt, just try to let go of that, because that's not going to help you, and try to find
Hmm.
someone else who can help you. So your boss isn't the only person in the organization who can advocate for you. There will be other influencers who can give you the boost that you need. So you want to identify and win the support of like executive sponsors, and ideally it's someone like powerful, high-ranking ally within your organization who can bring up your name with the right people at the right time, so you can gain access to opportunity. So your sponsor is your champion in the organization, and sometimes even beyond it. And many people also confuse mentors with sponsors. In short, mentors counsel you and sponsors accelerate you. So you don't want to be over mentored and under sponsored. And that's especially important for women and people of color, for whom research shows hard work alone is usually not enough to
Hmm.
get noticed. And the third one is like, build your network inside and outside of the organization. So the best leaders have this like 360-degree advocacy, from those above them, those behind them, like their peers, beside them,
Hmm.
sorry, and their direct reports. So don't also underestimate the value of your peers and your direct reports in bringing your name and speaking well of you. Like being good to people and doing the right thing, especially those who may lack formal power in your organization, can really like cause them to
Hmm.
advocate on your behalf. And like, yeah, and also try to maybe become like an engaged person, like, behind beyond your workplace or your industry, like in your community as well, because you just never know who is connected to whom and how. And sometimes generating positive buzz beyond the workplace can prompt your organization to take stock of how great of an asset you are. So I think we all need champions who are willing to advocate for us when we cannot speak for ourselves. And when your boss doesn't do it, it can definitely be challenging, but I don't think it has to stop your progress and your career development. You really could be just like one project or one conversation away from getting noticed for who you are, what you do, and your potential to achieve even more.